He may not be the most reviled man in U.S. sports just yet, but Cleveland Indians pitcher Trevor Bauer seems hell-bent on earning the title. The 28-year-old has been irritating opponents, fans and even his own teammates for years, which makes it all the more amusing that the most recent headlines he's made have involved him complaining about his own well-deserved bad reputation. You can quibble with Bauer's production on the field. He's an all-star starting pitcher who went 12-2 last year for the Indians with a 2.21 ERA. He also likes to portray himself as an iconoclastic rebel, the last honest man. "I'm good at two things in this world," he said in a recent Sports Illustrated profile, throwing baseballs and pissing people off. The story also goes into detail about his unconventional training methods, which include pumping electricity into his brain. As one would imagine, given said methods alone, Bauer has increasingly found himself at odds with those within baseball, most recently with his own team. Last week, he emerged victorious from his salary arbitration hearing with the Indians with a chip on his shoulder. "They spent the last 10 minutes of the case trying a character assassination," he told the media after being awarded the $13 million his side was seeking. "The intent behind it, that I would characterize, was to demean my character. If that were true, they would have plenty of ammunition." After all, Bauer is most famous for the time he risked Cleveland's playoff chances in the 2016 American League Championship Series after injuring his pitching hand while playing with a drone. He had to leave Game 3 start after his stitches came apart in the first inning, although he was later healthy enough to pitch admirably in a Game 2 loss to the Chicago Cubs in that year's World Series. That incident probably didn't help Bauer's reputation as a poor teammate, something which dates back to his time with the Arizona Diamondbacks catcher Miguel Montero said that Bauer rubbed people the wrong way and his conflicts with management eventually factored into his trade to Cleveland. After he left Arizona, Bauer released a thankfully deleted rap song attacking the organization. Besides the Diamondback, he's also ramped up a personal feud with the Houston Astros, whom he has accused of cheating. It's unlikely that these incidents were the Indians' main character concerns regarding their race. According to ESPN's Buster Olney, the biggest sticking point for the Indians was Bauer's use of social media, which has come into sharp focus over the last few months for all the wrong reasons. To get a sense of how he conducts himself, it's helpful to know that his Twitter handle is the also self-aware @Bauer Outrage. He has earned plenty of attention thanks to his skepticism about climate change, his bigoted jokes and the occasional blocking spree. Bauer, of course, has the right to present the worst version of himself online, something he has in common with many Americans. It's quite another thing to go on a targeted harassment campaign, which is exactly what Bauer did last month when a female Astros fan had the audacity to call him "my new least favorite in all of sports." Bauer claimed the fans' comments were tantamount to bullying, and sent a non-stop barrage of messages to her for over a day, all while exposing her to a healthy percentage of his 134,000 followers. Some of them also joined in the dogpile, eventually forcing the fan offline. In total, Bauer tagged the user over 80 times in his subsequent tweets. If this all seems familiar, it's because it's the standard operating procedure of a particularly single-minded Twitter troll, albeit one with the follower count of a high-profile pro athlete. Because of his actions, the affair escalated from a rude exchange into something that bordered on cyber-stalking of his part. When it became serious enough that it attracted news coverage, Bauer leveled criticism at the media for not saying anything to his face. When some of those reporters did attempt to bring up his social media meltdown in person, he, of course, promptly scampered off. Trevor Bauer, @Bauer Outage: "I often defend myself against internet trolling, bullying and slander. My responses to fans are good-natured. I do not encourage any of my fans, followers, or friends to attack, insult or harass anyone on any social media platform, or in real life. There is no room for that." In January 9, 2019, Trevor Bauer, @Bauer Outage, The World. I have been made aware that some of the interactions related to a specific Twitter exchange may have had a negative impact. That was not my intention. I will wield the responsibility of my public platform more responsibly in the future. January 9, 2019. After almost certainly being chastised by the Indians behind closed doors, Bauer released something which vaguely resembled an apology in structure, if not necessarily content, along with a promise that he would try to use Twitter more responsibly in the future. The team apparently declined to punish him, but kept it in their back pocket and attempted to bring it up as a reason to pay him less money next season. If this is indeed what happened, it's not surprising that the independent arbitrator wasn't entirely sold on the Indians' position in the matter. Let us make no mistake here, however, by no means is Bauer the victim here. Did he somehow think this would not come up during an arbitration hearing in which his employer's entire strategy was going to involve bringing up every possible reason to keep down his pay? Here. Just like in the Sports Illustrated profile, Bauer is trying to have it both ways, both playing the role of someone unafraid to ruffle feathers alongside that of someone being unfairly targeted. It's laughable to complain about your character being assassinated, when it's really just you shooting yourself in the foot.